Hi. Yeah, but I said the last time that I saw them, and they were put in that closet over there.
Oh, I couldn't find them in there. But you know what? I bought new ones.
But I know that they should be right here.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have another place for storage.
Because I had one place that I put them always in my house. I went to that corner and said, they're not here, they're not here. So
If there's other storage here, I remember you used to put them there. And I don't know if there's any other place.
no, that would be the only place.
Okay,
So,
okay.
my pen was making a head.
Oh, no.
I know, it's okay. I
Yeah.
don't think I got it on me. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say, be careful.
I know, I'm gonna try to
If there's
watch out.
any other place we can think
That's
of.
okay. Look, I bought new ones. And I'm not going to put on card. So that we can use them for any
Forever stuff?
fundraiser.
Okay,
I just
okay.
put our name on it.
All right,
So
okay.
that would be cool, right?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you, Val.
You're welcome. Hey, Gerald, how are you?
Great, how you doing?
Good. How's it going?
Excellent,
Good,
excellent,
good,
excellent.
good,
It's a good day.
It's a good, yeah, it is. It's a good day. It is. It's always that. Yeah. I like that jacket. I like Georgia.
Yeah, and it's warm. It feels warm.
Yes, yeah. We still got to get our lunch together.
We ain't had lunch yet. What is that about?
I know, we got to. We got to get it together. We really got to.
Fridays are good.
Fridays are good for me.
Yeah. This Friday we have a cookout at the school.
Well, this Friday I have a meeting at 12.
But
Yeah,
Fridays
so
are
we need to
good.
think about it every Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keep your calendar.
Yeah, you mean
No,
Friday?
who keeps your calendar?
The legislative assistant.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's look at some Fridays.
I'll get with her. I'll let the two of them work it out.
Yeah. And see when, because we're closed on Friday. It's just this Friday I got a meeting at 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's that, everything is?
Yeah. Everything's good.
LGTV was there. Or, right, we don't have a
How are you? I don't know. I gave blood yesterday and for some reason I didn't feel right. I felt sleepy. Really? I didn't usually I don't, but then yesterday I meant to text Leslie, but then I told my husband to get my phone and because I felt real. Yeah, and I hate that I did it like at 3 something because I knew I had to go more. But I feel so itchy. Yeah. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. And I've done it. Yeah. Okay. I'll get an update to you. So, okay. Thank you, Brandon.
You all set? You good?
Yeah.
Welcome to the Rotary Club of LaGrange. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the negation today given by Tisa Lowery. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day that you have allowed us to get once again together in fellowship and friendship amongst our Rotarians. Lord, thank you for just the gift of life. Thank you for the food that we have received that has nourished our lives. And thank you for the hands of the Spirit. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. And now I'll ask Barbara Benedict to come and introduce our visitors ahead.
Good afternoon. So nice to see everyone in person. We have 3 guests besides our guest speakers. And we have Jack Britt, who's from Colonial Bank, and he happens to be a guest of Susan Ferguson. We have Lee Newman, who's part of West Georgia Technical College, but also was Chunk's wife. And then we have Mark Forster, who is from the Carlton Dawnbreakers Rotary Club, who's a visitor. And this is the 2nd week in a row, so I think he's trying to move over here. Well, I have your attendance, I don't have to come back up. You can see the little buckets on your tables. It's that time again. Every year we put in money and we participate in the district's fund drive for Alzheimer's research. So if you'd be so kind, if, change, it says coins, but I don't stop there. You can always put the paper stuff in too. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. It's good to see everybody here today in person like where we're sitting. It's also good to see our guests returning. We're so glad that y'all are here. A few birthdays and anniversaries, no member birthdays, but we do have some member anniversaries. Judy Freeman is celebrating 3 years on the 28th of February, but she had 18 years previous for a total of 21 years in Rotary. And Jaja Hurd and Yvonne Lopez both celebrating 6 years on the 24th. So congratulations. That is that was a freshman class that you wouldn't want to mess with right there, for sure. Also, a couple wedding anniversaries. Drew and Jill Gay will be celebrating 21 years of marriage on the 24th, and Shedrick and Tabitha Lewis Coverson will be celebrating 6 years on the 26th. So congratulations to them. Just a few announcements. In 1905, Theodore Roosevelt was elected to a second term as President of the United States. The New York Giants beat the Philadelphia Athletics in the World Series. The Wright brothers made the first flight that lasted over 30 minutes long. Novocaine was invented. And Albert Einstein completed his doctorate dissertation and published his theory of relativity, as well as this famous equation of E equals mc squared. And on this date, February 23rd, in 1905, Rotary was founded in a small room in downtown Chicago where Paul Harris met with 3 other people. So 4 guys in a room, and think about how much Rotary has grown in 117 years. So that to that point, instead of just saying happy birthday, if there's somebody you're thinking of, bring a friend next week, and we'll keep growing our club with guests and let people see what we do and how we do it. Like Barbara already mentioned, we're collecting money for Alzheimer's research. We'll be doing that this month. Before we get to Happy Dollars, I do want to take a second and just say something that's been on my heart this week, this weekend, and not in this community, but I went to a funeral for a high school senior who committed suicide. And it was my son of my freshman roommate. And the whole funeral was related to mental health and what's going on. It was directed at kids, but I would have kids, but it was directed to me too. A lot of people are going through a lot of stuff and dealing. And just ask questions, listen to people. Just don't, there's nothing that bad. Being embarrassed about asking a question is way better than anything alternative. So just pay attention to what everybody's going through around you, so that we don't have to do any more of these funerals. Father Tim was just saying, I'm keeping busy, so let's just pay a little bit of attention of what's going on. So with that, I would like to open it up for any happy dollars for anybody. And John, y'all speak at the podium so they can see it on TV.
Roll Tide. That's for my daughter who was selected University of Alabama as a college student. My other announcement has to do with a sheet of paper that's on all of the tables for the golf tournament that will take place 7 weeks from tomorrow. It is a Rotary fundraiser. We have enough connections with businesses, corporations, and individuals in this room where I feel we ought to be able to fill all 18 holes with 4 golfers and sponsor all of them. Please take one of these. read over it, and contemplate either sponsoring a whole getting together a team or sponsoring a team. My number's at the bottom. Reach out to me with a phone call or an email if you've got any questions.
I just want to say thank you for everybody who came out to work on the Mardi Gras parade, but also thank you to everybody who participated in any way whatsoever, because each person in each of these roles contributes to the success and the enjoyment that everyone feels with this sort of thing. So, many thanks.
Happy that the college is finally opening up to some face-to-face interactions with the community now. And with that, Monday, the 28th, we're going to have a 3D Journeys lecture series again. It's going to be held at the Callaway Auditorium, not up on campus, but plenty of free parking. It's going to be about Boston this year. So look forward to seeing everyone there if you can make it, 9:30, Monday the 28th.
This Sunday at 4 o'clock, and the price is free. The Choral Society of West Georgia is presenting Michael Hendrick in concert. And for those of you who don't know, Michael Hendrick is a 1984 graduate of Truth High School. He went to Berry College as a trumpet major and ended up singing. Who knows? He's made his debut at the Met, and he's sung in the Washington and all of it. So if you have the inclination to, please come on out.
Well, I've had an amazing thing happen. You know how something good always comes out of something bad. So I was an addict. I was a cinnamon addict. Believe it or not, I had an attack about 3 months ago here. Couldn't eat, couldn't drink, couldn't do anything because I had too much cinnamon. And that sounds so crazy, but it's the truth. And after lots of tests, I didn't have my cinnamon that morning, and lo and behold, I got better. And every day I went to have another test, I got better and better until finally we realized, what are you not doing that you were doing? Well, I was doing lots of cinnamon. I was a true addict. So, at the end of the year, I decided rather than having a New Year's resolution that I'm going to forget and not do, I'm going to go get a health reset. And I mean, I felt like I was going to recovery. I was really scared to go. I knew what I was in for. It was Optimum Health Institute in San Diego, California. And I had to go totally raw, totally vegan, exercise 1 hour a day, 1 hour, 3 times a day, have classes, nutrition classes, 1 hour, 3 times a day. I mean, it was really grueling. But you met people who were very serious about their health. So one of the guys that I met, I said, hey, Larry, what do you do? He said, I mentor CEOs, first-time CEOs who have a product that will change the world. Here I am. This is it. So, of course, I introduced him to brain jogging. And the way God unfolds things, he was from San Diego. The person whose research I followed and mimicked for brain jogging that taught how to see new brain cells form and mature, he happened to have a connection. And yesterday, that scientist, who has now received a Nobel Prize for his work, has just learned about brain jogging. We're so excited. Who knows where it will lead?
Mysterious ways, right? So now I will ask Chuck Newman to come up and introduce our speaker today.
Thank you, President Jason. Really happy to be back in person again, especially in light of our program today. It's my honor to introduce Dr. Julie Post, the relatively new president of West Georgia Technical College. She joined us in April of last year, so it's almost been a year since she joined us. Time flies. She has an extensive background in higher education administration. She comes from Gwinnett Technical College, which has been 16 years, in a number of leadership roles, most recently as Vice President of Student Affairs. Dr. Post graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Business Education from Northern Kentucky University, a Master of Arts in the Art of Teaching from Mary Grove College, and a Doctor of Education from the University of Georgia. I'm really sorry to hear the last one. She was very active in the community in Gwinnett County, and we are extremely glad to have her here in West Georgia and at West Georgia Technical College. Please help me to join the welcome.
Might be important. Well, good afternoon. Can you all hear me if I don't stand at the podium, because that's not my, it's not my thing.
I can move you around.
So I need to stay over
Yeah, I'll move you around.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna pull it up some. That'll be great. Pull it up some.
Where do you want me to go?
Wherever you comfortable with. We just don't move you.
Wow, this is a lot of pressure. When it's only this much of you, it's one thing, right? But thank you very much for having me here today. I am falling in love with True County and LaGrange. I will tell you that. West Georgia Tech has been a great home to come to, and I got here as fast as I could. As the commissioner in Carroll County says the same thing, we try to stick together on that because we came at about the same time. But we are going through a lot of change at West Georgia Tech, and I'm excited to share some things about it. And hopefully you've been seeing our name in the paper around here and noticing some of the things that we're trying to take care of. But our mission is workforce development, and we're trying to support the students and the community members here in True County, as well as the other 6 counties we have, but also the businesses. And that's where we come in and are integral in making that connection. So right now we are working on right sizing, right programming, right partnerships in order to have the right impact on all of our communities. Just a little about us in case you aren't aware. 7 counties, 5 campuses, we have 2 instructional sites. So we cover 22 high schools, a lot of miles that I've been driving. But 159 miles round trip to go from our most northern point, which is in Carrollton County, down here to lovely LaGrange. So it's a good time. I've been making my way around as best as I can, trying to meet everybody and trying to just kind of get to know all of the communities. All 7 of them are different. I have been quoted as saying 7 countries. Meriwether is certainly not like Carroll, and Carrollton is not like Douglas, and it's all good and great though. Every community has its own place and its own place for West Georgia Tech. There's a lot of numbers up there, and I'm not going to read them to you, but I feel compelled when I come to speak to people, like you want to know the numbers, So yes, our enrollment from pre-pandemic time to this past year in 2021, we're down, just like everybody else in the nation. We have had an influx of part-time students, and our full-time students have gone down. We've had more students online, we're kind of making all those shifts, but I am here to tell you that today, as of this spring semester, we are up 3%. So it is coming back. We are bringing the students back. We are, changing that curvature and making things happen. We offer adult education, which is obtaining your high school equivalency, as well as learning English as a second language. We do all the credit programs. Our associate degrees are accredited by the same people that accredit the University of Georgia, the University of Alabama, which I'll acknowledge today, and Georgia Tech as well. So we are held to the same standards and we're proud of that. We also offer degrees, or diplomas and certificates, which are shorter-term programs that are far more workforce driven, and then a lot of continuing ed and corporate education. So we're doing it all, and we're trying to cover all the bases in order to be that part of the economic development engine that we need to be in every single county. I will say that Troup County has, and I'll probably put this on another slide, but I always seem to let it slip out here, the most dual enrollment of all of our counties. So you should be proud of that. Your parents and your students are taking advantage of that incredible opportunity for their kids to get college experience while in high school and earn dual credit for that. And if you're a parent, how many people in this room have children of some sort or have had or are a grandparent? That is a dollar sign that you should not pass up because it is $0 to that student. So that's great. We do offer or usually give out about 3,000 awards a year. That only goes to about 2,000 graduates. That means that many of our graduates come out with multiple credentials. We are a workforce staffable agency. So you might go and get one certificate and love it and want to keep going, or you want to get a job and then you want to keep going as well, and they stack up and equal up to a diploma or degree. So we do that intentionally so that people can get into the workforce. All right, a lot of people ask me these days, aren't you all getting all kinds of money? Yeah, we've gotten quite a bit of money. I'm almost ashamed to put the dollar amounts up there for you because the CARES Act money doesn't really come for us to just throw around and spend on anything we want to spend. How many of you work for an agency or a public organization that's gotten money and you've had to try to figure out how to spend it? Not as many people as I thought in this room, but there are lots of strings and rules attached to it, and it does have to fit in certain boxes. And we have been doing the best that we can to expend that money in the best way possible. So the student portion, which is about half of the money that we got, has to go directly to students, but we could only just give it out to everybody in the very beginning, and there's the 3 disbursements of funds. From then, they have to prove need. And it's almost depressing to me that all students have to do is go in and check a box and write, I've been affected by COVID, and we text and call and email and beat down the doors to get them to do that, to the point that we still have money that we have not been able to give out. And we're still working on it. Strengthening institution funds came mostly to West Georgia Tech because of the rural environments. That was some additional money. And actually that encumbered number is not accurate. It's all gone except for like 30 grand, which will probably be gone by the end of next week. And then the other half of that money was institutional funds that allowed us to spend on things to help us get through COVID. There's only so many computers and projectors and pieces of technology and servers. And I brought with me my director of IT today because he just sitting here means every video will work. If he wasn't here, it would all go awry real quick. So, but I think, not sure, but Ryan can always find stuff to spend money on. But people would have given anything to be in his shoes for the past year because it was like he could just be Santa everywhere, right? But we have bought cleaning supplies and air filters and all of the things to make it super safe to be on our campuses. And now we're kind of at a point where there are a lot of things I'd like to spend money on. I'd like to give raises to my faculty and staff. I'd like to purchase vehicles for our campuses because of the driving that they do, and I can't spend that money on that. So we are in the process right now of looking for an extension and trying to draw this down as what would be called unearned revenue, things that we lost because of that, and we're trying to use better ways that will better represent the institution to spend that money. So, maybe more than you want to know, but I get asked that question all the time. All right, this first video. The Technical College System of Georgia does a contest every year, and I say contest, and that's really a terrible word to use, but it's called the GOLD contest, and every college nominates one student. So they go through all this process. I mean, West Georgia Tech has 12,000 students, and we try to find the best. Who's exhibited leadership and grades and great to the community and volunteers, and then all of those students go together, and each region they compete. And there's a region winner. And then the 3 regions compete finally at this big thing, and they become the big state winner for the Technical College System, and they represent them, speaking all over the state, meeting the governor, and on top of that, they win a car, which is all great. Thank you, Kia. This past year, West Georgia Tech student won, and as soon as you watch this video, you're going to know exactly why.
pride, but it hasn't always been easy to show. One thing a lot of people don't know about me is Spanish was my first language. However, because I was brought up in a population that was 89% different from me, I knew that English would have to be the language of my success. To this day, I can remember my first standardized test, because it was the first time I questioned whether I was good enough. The normal kids didn't have to battle between two languages, nor did they seem to struggle deciphering sarcasm, similes, and metaphors. But despite that struggle, there was something my father would say that stuck out to me. You have everything you need at your fingertips because you have opportunity. Having the natural desire to please others meant being good was something I would never settle for. This has always been one of my best and worst traits. It can result in a great work ethic, but no one really talks about what that type of pressure will do to your confidence. As a child, there were high expectations needing to be met before I could realize the weight of what was being asked of me. I would accompany my mom to the doctor and was expected to medically translate for her. But how do you translate words in another language when you don't even know what it means in English? Years of self-doubt and the feeling of having unattainable goals crippled my confidence. And it's funny to think how taking the class of one of the most intimidating instructors would be the place that fostered the most growth. Dr. Jeremy Bishop at West Georgia Technical College believed in me. He saw something in me that I couldn't see in myself. He saw worthiness and helped build the strongest and most confident version of myself. Without the technical college system of Georgia, I wouldn't be here, standing before you and able to teach you a few things that I've learned along the way. Feeling inadequate doesn't mean you can't achieve success. I don't represent the straight-A traditional student, but now I don't allow my flaws to define me. It took me far too long to realize the true beauty behind diversity, and that being different doesn't mean being less than. I have been trained to be a frontline worker, a critical thinker, and to thrive in one of the top 10 most stressful jobs in America. Because becoming a nurse means you become the person that runs to the side of danger instead of running away. Technical education has taught me it doesn't care where you come from, where you started, or where you left off. An investment of just a few years or less can nurture unlimited success. No one said it would be easy, but graduating nursing school has proven to me that this is only the beginning. And as a product of technical education, I'm committed now more than ever to foster success into our state, and I can't wait to serve as a vessel of positive influence in our educated workforce.
Update you that on three things. She immediately started working for a hospital in Carroll County, so, got what was her immediate mission. She is enrolled in a bachelor's degree program through an articulation, so she will only have to complete 2 more years. In giving back, because she was also a scholarship winner, she has begun this STAR Award, so every nursing class that graduates, she gives a $250 stipend to them to get them through the purchasing of the items that they need as soon as they start. And then since then, our foundation, which one of my representatives here, which is Mark Foster, your visitor, they have backed up and they're going to do a scholarship in her name as well. So she is certainly paying it forward and believes in technical education. That's what we're about. We're about making a difference. We have people who are in welding. We have nurses. We have surgical technologists that are helping out while you're getting surgery. We have firemen, EMT, paramedic, over 120 different programs that can serve any type of student. So the stigma of what type of student attends West Georgia Tech is really gone out the window. The number of articulations that we have with the University of West Georgia, the Valdosta State, all of these areas that will marry up with our early childhood program, our nursing program, our regular Associate of Science, and those biology, all of those things. We do all of that. So if you're unaware, I'm hoping that you will be more aware before you leave today. All right, our LaGrange campus. Right down here, we have an east and a west. On one side, you have the Callaway Conference Center. You have an entire welding facility, which we have just invested $350,000 in totally upgrading. It's beautiful on the inside, which It was not before, and Welly should not be held to a place that is dirty and not pretty either, right? So it's all good, and the students are happy, they have lockers and restrooms, and it's great. We also do CDL truck driving down there, which I'm gonna talk a little bit more about in a few minutes. And what else is there? The Truth County Career Center is also housed down there. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that. On our other campus, we have a very large building that we have about 20 different programs in. The Think Academy is one of our partners there, and the TC3 has also been partnering with us and using a portion of our building. So we are very fortunate to have this large footprint in LaGrange. We do have, it's not the highest enrollment, but it's very, very close, about 1,500 students a semester in there. Some of the programs that we do are up there. We have a great partnership that has just happened in the last, since I've been here, which I don't take credit for, but just what I know. Weiler is doing some great apprenticeship work with us to get welders. We are still working with Kia Manufacturing. They send people to work for 4 hours and they come over to take our classes all afternoon, and those students are amazing. I enjoy talking to them. And then we are working a lot with Truth County Schools. The TC3 Center was a small thing. They began with the Career Center in what used to be an early childhood building on our campus, where they were working with students who were credit deficient to try to get them caught up and graduated. Dr. Shoemake touts a place for every kid, and I am all in for him and how we can support that. So since then, I don't know if you've heard of Option B, but Option B, which I call Option Bravo because B should not be a secondary selection, and I'm hoping that that's starting to carry weight. It's changed everywhere on our website. But all of those students that get to a certain level are now being dual enrolled in welding, automotive, HVAC, CNA, all of our programs, so that they can not just get out of high school, but also get some sort of certificate so they can go to school. They are not of any less. They just are not happy in a regular classroom. And I sat there with a student who sat with his mom and a counselor from Truth County Schools and one of our dual enrollment counselors, and he looked at his mom and said, I just want to weld. If you teach him math and it has to do with welding, he knows math. He just doesn't like it on the chalkboard in the classroom. And for a lot of us who went to school where you just did what you were told, you know, we're not in a place where that's not exactly how we need to treat everybody. And so I am just elated that Dr. Shoemake and I have been able to just partner on so many things. We partner with Think Academy, but probably not very well, from what I understand. And, you know, Gerald and I we're like two peas in a pod, probably because we're both crazy, but we have opened doors and we have said, you need to walk over there. I mean, we need to be partnering. We need these students to be going back and forth, and they need to be utilizing all the resources available to them. So we are actually working on several new programs right now that we are hoping to do and launch for WellStar. And the thing is that WellStar needs them, right? They need them as soon as possible. If I can get them started with Gerald or with dual enrollment, then I'm going to do that, because then by the time they finish with me, it could be a whole year earlier and they go to work at the hospital. That's what we're about, and that's the partnerships I'm trying to create across our region. All right, we are opening a brand new campus in Carroll County. Carroll Tech was built a very long time ago. It's a bittersweet, okay? It's been in that community forever, and I know a lot of them are sad to see it go, but in 54 years, it's just not, it's beyond repairable, it's beyond size, it's, you know, locked in. So we were fortunate that the legislators gave us the funding to build a brand new campus. So it is going down the road about a mile on the bypass. It will have 3 buildings. It's gorgeous, it's coming along, and I'm gonna kind of show you just a few pictures. I know you're not so much as excited about this. This is not LaGrange, but we are excited as far as West Georgia Tech about it. The second building is an entire football field under one roof of nothing but technology and industry programs with one gigantic hallway down the middle. And the best part about this building is that every single program on each side is windows, because we want people to walk through and they want to know, what is precision manufacturing? These kids don't know what that is. And then if they do know a little bit, or maybe their mom says, I think you're going to be in there doing dirty work, that's not necessarily what precision manufacturing is. And so we want students to be able, we want to demystify what we're trying to do here in order to get the people that we need in the workforce. All right. Keep going here in the essence of time. All right, so what has been the best thing is partnerships. I am a firm believer in partnerships. We create pathways that makes what success for students as well as business and industries. This is just the icons of some of them that happened in the last 6 months with these industries. Big announcements coming out about Delta, and we're super excited, and I wish I could tell you more, but Delta is very close to mouth about press releases going out without having gone through about 50 people. And so my patience is really thin, but I'm still trying to hold on to it. But we started a lineman program up in our most northern campus, which was supported by all of the ESCs and power companies in all 7 of our areas. We're hoping that will take off. It's 4 weeks and you're done. And every one of these people are graduating and getting jobs. We set up interviews at the end. Right now, we're struggling. We want to get enrollment, we want to get built up, and then we want to replicate it down here in LaGrange. Current projects, I'm trying to make friends with people, but 7 counties is about to kill me. But it is good. I'm meeting lots of people and trying to understand what do the communities need. Working with lots of industries, visiting companies, trying to see, like, they call me all the time, I need machinists, I need welders, I need nurses. I mean, it's the same 3, but I am trying to meet other businesses beside that. So if I have not seen you, I would love to come visit. We have, right tomorrow, we'll be shipping off our accreditation documentation for our 10-year reaffirmation, which is huge. But it's, it's what the basis is of ensuring that we're doing things like we're supposed to, and just that little thing, without it, we can't offer financial aid. So we just have that weighing over us right now, but so we're getting ready to embark on that. The initial documentation will go out tomorrow, and it will go, this process goes all the way through a committee coming at the end of the year. So we're excited to get that through. We've had lots of audits and things in prep of that, and it's kind of like birthing a child, I think. At least that's how I feel right now. This will be the first semester that we are opening registration in the middle of the semester, which is something that is done at other technical colleges. It had not happened in West Georgia, so I'm excited that people who maybe couldn't get their financial aid together, or they missed some deadlines or couldn't get their application in, have the opportunity to enroll at the midpoint and at least get started on a course or two without missing an entire semester. So we're excited that registration opens up next week. We are participating in a campus so that students here can take classes at other colleges if we can't offer them, for the simple fact we might not have enough. We don't have an instructor, so it's a system-wide project that's going on. And we are also teaching some classes that other colleges can take from us. So it's a good way for us to kind of share resources across the state. We're launching a major strategic planning initiative. So you may get a survey, you may get asked about something, because I'm trying to make this totally 7 county wide so that we can really reinvent what West Georgia Tech can do best. And that includes facilities planning. So just a little going on. But back to this is another student, another reason why I'm here today.
And I'm the head of the framing crew here at Alta.
My name is James Bacon, and I'm the Chief Financial Officer for Alta Refrigeration.
I was met at Crossroads after high school. I didn't want to go to a four-year college. I wanted to get a trade, so I decided that welding was the trade for me.
We've had some really hard times finding quality people to work in the manufacturing world. Through our challenges, we partnered up with West Georgia Technical College, and over the years, we've hired quite a few people. And we're very pleased with the people that we've been working with.
The framing crew is great. They're all guys from West Georgia Tech, actually. I was the first one out of West Georgia Tech, and since then, they've subsequently hired all my crew from them.
For a young person coming right out of high school and going into a technical school, this is a really great place to work. The training that we give them is second to none. We have really good benefits, and we recognize and reward excellence.
Also, it's my first job since graduation. They let me learn and grow, even being inexperienced, and there's a high ceiling, the company's growing, and there's a great future.
There's certainly opportunity for growth in Alta. As we sell more and more products, increase the number of crews we have, that just opens up more opportunities to have lead people for each crew.
It's really just up to you to increase and find your way to it. And there's plenty of opportunities for everybody.
I don't know if you noticed, but he said, I was the first one to be hired, and now my crew are all from West. He's in charge of our crew. So people need to understand that the opportunity is there, and we're proud of students like that, and we want to advertise that any student can take that path. All right, we have lots of projects going on, and in the essence of your time, I'm going to speed. I'm going to do the first one, and then I'll just briefly talk about the other, because the first one affects LaGrange. There's a document on your table. I put a few on each table if you want to take a look at it. You can take it with you or not, it's up to you. But each year, the technical colleges get to submit what we call a capital outlay project. It's a very large project that the college feels will most benefit the community, one of their communities. So at this point, down on our Fort Drive campus where we do truck driving, it is being done in a parking lot that has 2 buildings on it, one of which is inhabitable and apparently has had nothing in it for many, many years. And the other one, we use the corner so that we can have a classroom for our truck drivers and some bathrooms. Neither of those buildings can be repaired. And we feel like our best investment from West Georgia Tech moving forward right now is to invest in the Troup County area by taking down those 2 buildings and putting up one that will represent logistics, manufacturing, and transportation. So I submitted that to the state, and our system office approved it and sent it on the list to the governor's office. So we were cheering and hooting and hollering and all excited. Then the governor came out with his budget and didn't put the design funds in for any of our projects. So there is money left in the House and the Senate at this point in time, and Randy Nix is hugely championing this project for us and feels pretty confident about the House side. And so if you could say any good word, say you're behind it, if you feel as though you think it will be of benefit, the legislators certainly appreciate knowing that the community sees the value in this. So I'm going to tell you just a little bit about it. It will be a $24 million project total, and we'll replace the 2 buildings that are there and put 1 new one up. We will put a full-size CDL range in. Right now, it's not. We're doing the best we can because that's another occupation that we can't provide enough of, which are truck drivers, right? We will add a lineman field down there. We will also be able to offer 40 places for machine tool 3 times a day. Right now, we have a small machine tool lab in our current campus, and y'all know Remington just moved here, right? And we had the pleasure of presenting to Remington and saying, you know, we want to be a part of providing your workforce. And then the article came out and it said 800, and I almost fell over in my chair. So we are really trying to work hard on how we're going to continue to do that. But this building would allow us to really pump out some significant machine tool technicians. Kia is moving forward in the e-vehicle business, and right now, and this may change by the time the building comes, but there will be a place to support that. The carbon fiber manufacturing is going to be huge in terms of the weight of cars in order to make them run on the batteries, and you all know that. We will have general classroom space and lab space to do contract training, which we do not have good space down here to offer our businesses on-site training for us. And then there's an inland port, and I keep waiting for the announcement to come out, that's supposed to be over here in Troup County. And so by having a logistics and manufacturing transportation programs and degrees, we'll be able to fully support that, and I know that that would be needed down here. So we're excited about this. It'll be an additional 750 students. They are all high demand careers, every single one of them, which means you can get HOPE, and you can probably get the HOPE Career Grant, which means if you're HOPE eligible, you can pretty much go to school for free. That is very important for everyone in all of our communities, but even if you cannot, at $100 a credit hour, how can you beat West Georgia Tech, right? All right, so take one with you. I'm more than happy to answer more questions about it, but we are just championing that right now and really trying to get that design money in the budget, because once the design is done and they spend the state funds on that, the likelihood that they'll fund the facility the following year, which would be in 23 for us, would be great. So this is kind of pretty much what I just talked about, the companies that it will support, and that's on the handouts you have there. We're also working on some other projects on our other campuses, so we don't want to leave everybody out. Some parking lot expansion just for safety of students. We cannot keep enough welders. We don't have that problem down here. Our program is full. I'm not going to say that it's not, but in other areas of our service delivery area, we are not able to, you know, we're crunching in on Carroll because the county's around. We're trying to send people. So we are trying to add welding up in our Murphy campus, and then provide some sort of truck driving in Douglas because it is closer to the metro and needed. So we are working on all of those projects right now. So just to give you, I've given you nursing and I've given you welding, and so I'm going to give you an experience of one more student that's on the whole other side of the dynamic. And I'm proud to say that we are working right now with your restaurant owners in downtown LaGrange on trying to get our students to be in there, and their chefs are coming to visit them. And it's starting out to be a really great partnership. I know that you are building up your hotel, restaurant, tourism, and hospitality that's happening here in LaGrange that it's great to see, and we want to be a part of that. We have been having conversations about having that type of a degree at the Callaway Center, and so accreditation has kind of put a little bit of that on hold, but now that we've got our initial stuff off, we're going to start working on maybe offering that degree on here. But we already do some culinary, and we want to continue to expand that. So here you get to hear from one of those students.
I was in North Carolina working 2 jobs and going to community college. I just felt really stuck. I was going to go to Auburn University to study nursing, but I just didn't feel like it was a good fit for me. I didn't think I would be happy there. So we were looking through the West Georgia Technical College course catalog, and we saw culinary arts, and I just thought that would be a great opportunity. I think it's so cool that we learn really just the science of food, how it comes to be, what it comes to be. I think flour and change up the mixing technique or add one more ingredient and you get a completely different outcome. Cooking is definitely a science. I really love that baking is a science, even more than cooking, because if you overmix, it'll be flat and spread out, or if you don't put in too much of an ingredient, it'll be too puffy. Learning the specifics of that is really cool to me, getting everything right. I think it was really cool meeting people of different cultures in the class, because they would come and they would bring their culture and they would cook what they usually do, and we would cook what we usually do. So it was really nice to see the fusion of cultures in real life settings. Having someone from that culture actually bring in those flavors was really nice. I love decorating cakes. I love baking cakes. I think it's so cool that you can just start off with a simple crumb coat, but then you can go in there with colors or rosettes or sprinkles, and you can make a simple cake look so pretty with a chocolate drip or, gosh, I love cakes, I'm sorry. So after I graduate, I'm going to move back to my hometown in North Carolina and then hopefully just gain some experience. And then after that, move to a bigger city, hopefully Boston. I just really want to be in a big city, maybe work at a country club or a hotel, making really upscale desserts. To any students who are thinking about the culinary arts program, I think you should 100% take the leap. It's amazing class sizes, you get specialized education, you get to meet so many new people. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. My name is Morgan Almer, and West Georgia Technical College is preparing me for a big future.
Instead of going back to North Carolina. Anyway, that's a little bit about West Georgia Tech. I hope I've maybe filled you in on some things you didn't know. I am certainly available for questions if anybody has any, or I will be happy to stay for a little bit if you want to talk afterwards. But thank you again.
Thank you so much, Dr. Coates. It's such a breath of fresh air, the way you're approaching all this. We're so happy and thankful to have you in our community and what you're bringing in, and the future is bright. There's no question about it. In honoring your speaking today, we're going to make a donation to Polio Plus. which is Rotary's initiative to end the world of polio. So thank you for being here. Next week will be to get us all fired up for the Azalea Storytelling Festival. Don Davis will be here. So come early, be prepared. It'll be a great meeting. We are adjourned.